hump day. You know what that means. Wine Wednesdays. We're going to check in with the wine guy coming up on Fox 5.
Serving all of San Diego, this is your Fox 5 News.
Oh, man, that seemed like a long week from Wine Wednesday to Wine Wednesday, but we are back. Wine Wednesday is back, and we're kicking off another edition of Meet the Winemaker Next Door. Joe DeLulo from Cougar Vineyard and Winery is here along with our wine guy, Will Bertner, sommelier.
Joe, welcome.
Steakhouse out of Azul.
Thank you. Thanks
Cheers,
for having me
everybody.
today.
Joe, thanks for coming.
Salud.
Okay, let's get right to this. When did you start? I always ask all these winemakers, when do you start making wine, and at what point do you decide, this is what I can do, and I want to make some good wine? Because a lot of people love wine, but they don't all decide to make it.
Well, you start that with the vineyard. You know, it all starts in the vineyard. You have to have good quality fruit to be able to make good quality wine.
And so the best question is, how do you go about, you know, finding that vineyard, finding that right location, deciding to do it where you are?
Well, of course, what we looked for on the Di Portola Road, the Di Portola Wine Trail as it's called now, is we looked for the slopes that were facing the south.
Okay.
Had good sun, great exposure, and the soil there that we have is this decomposed granite with a little bit of clay in it. Very similar climate, very similar soils to parts of Italy.
The pictures are beautiful. I got to ask you before. We'll have some questions for you, but first I got to ask you where you got the name for the Cougar Winery. Why did you name it the Cougar Winery? Is what I want to know.
That's a big.
Well, when I was younger, I used to date older women.
Hey, okay, that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
It is for that.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
No, I'll tell you the true story. It came from Bellevue, Washington. Is
Okay.
where the brand was actually originated by Rick and Jennifer Buffington.
Okay.
And they are the current owners of the property and the winemakers. They've been making wine now for 20 years, and they live right up the road here in Fallbrook.
So what varietals do you do on the vineyard there?
We're basically all about Italian varietals.
Okay.
Right now we're farming just about 20 acres of vineyard. We're going to be adding in the next 2 years another 20 acres of vineyards. And we've got 19 different Italian varietals growing in the vineyard right now.
I love
Some of them are
Explain
extremely rare even in Italy.
Explain what a varietal is for maybe people who aren't sure what that is. It's different types of grapes. So
A
explain
varietal is basically the grape.
Yeah.
The name of the grape, and that's how we name most of our wines. Of course, today we have a few here that are blends.
Okay.
So, but most of our wines are made right after the varietal.
All right, good stuff.
Now, what is your best-selling wine?
Our best-selling wine actually is the Pink Cougar. Believe it or not, the Pink Cougar is our slightly sweet wine, about a 2% residual sugar.
Yeah.
And it's made primarily from a Cabernet Sauvignon grape. It's the only grape we don't grow. We do buy that grape.
Okay.
But we do blend it with our Aglianico.
Yeah.
So we have about 20 to 30% of our Aglianico grape put into this wine. It's also our charity wine. We donate $1 a bottle for every bottle we produce and sell to the Susan G. Komen Inland Empire.
Great.
To help the war on breast cancer.
So, real quick, this is one of those wineries where I like to say, wine nerds unite.
Yes, the wine nerds
Because
unite.
This is a wine nerd winery. This is, for me, such a pleasant surprise to find Temecula doing these varietals, because a lot of the time they do an over oak Cabernet or things like that that are just kind of, they're good, but not the greatest. This is a really good expression of these grapes, and they do the Italian varietals really well down there.
All right, awesome. We have questions from our viewers, Joe. Chime in if you want. Help them out. People are trying to understand wine. Our first question, this comes from Marianne in Santee. What is a good cocktail for the fall? So we're not doing wine, we're not doing cocktails.
We actually just came up with one at the steakhouse. One of my bartenders there, Joey, came up with it. We do a simple syrup, which is just simply hot water and sugar, and then add a pumpkin puree to it. Ooh. Right? And shake it up. You add that with Captain Morgan's, like a spiced rum, and then a heavy cream, even whipped cream. Shake it up and serve it up in a martini glass. It's a pumpkin spice martini.
What do you call that? Come on, give it a clever name.
The pumpkin spice martini.
Come on, man, you can do better than that.
The jack-o'-lantern.
Me and Joe can brainstorm for like 2 minutes and come up with a name. You know what I mean?
That'll help Handy and Candy out,
there you go.
throughout the evening.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Nate in Lemon Grove wants to know, why do they make different wine glasses for different wines? Does it really make a difference? I'll let Joe take this one. Joe, what do you think?
It does make a difference, and not only the shape and style. Actually, our wine club, these are our wine club glasses that I brought here today. These are Riedel Crystal.
Okay.
Riedel is the premier wine glass maker in the world. And if you've never been to a Riedel wine tasting, I had the opportunity to be at one last year with the grandson of Mr. Riedel, who's now running the plant. And it's amazing the difference that the different glass, the shape, and the style of the glass brings out in the wine.
What they do is they'll actually have 4 slots. I did one of these tastings myself, and they'll have all the different styles of glasses, and then they have one of those red cups that you bring to the
party cup?
To the party cup.
The party
cup?
And so they'll have you taste the same wine in all the glasses and the party cup,
right?
And then get your feedback on it. And honestly, I couldn't believe the difference in the wine.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
It really did make a difference.
Okay, our last question comes from Stephanie. Stephanie's up in Encinitas. What is the average corkage fee in a restaurant? Will?
Corkage fee, if you don't know, that's when you bring a bottle of wine into the restaurant that's your own wine. Generally, what restaurants' rules say is that if the wine is on the list, that you can't bring that wine in also, because, you know, it's not really fair to the restaurant, really, right? But if you do bring something in, corkage fees can run anywhere between $15 and $30.
Wow.
We charge $20 at the steakhouse at Azul. We think that that's fair. And it just, what it falls on is, you know, you get to use the stemware. We have, you know, the nice glasses. It's served to you. You know, there's all those things. Obviously, there's a profit part in there that we lose as far as not buying the bottle there. But, you know, that's, you know, kind of here or there.
Calling you out. Definitely calling you out with the corkage fee
Well,
thing.
it's not going to be free.
All right, let's make sure everybody knows. Sunset dinners at the Steakhouse at Azul in La Jolla, 3 courses for $30 from 4 until 5:30. You can also check out the Wine Guys blog on our website, fox5sandiego.com. You can send them your questions there. In the meantime, I want to thank Joe.
Google. We're going to be on Google later, aren't we?
What is that? The Google what?
Hangout.
The Google Hangout after the show. I'm still trying to figure that out. I think a lot of people are trying to figure that out. Joe, thank you, sir. By the way, I missed out on commenting on Joe's shirt. How about Joe's shirt?
Yeah.
He's rocking the grapes and the bottle of wine. That's a real guy right there, man. He's rocking that shirt
I
with the
walked
grapes.
in and said, "Where's the winemaker?" And he goes, "Look at my shirt."
Look at my shirt. What do you think this is? I'm a winemaker. And by the way, stick to your original story about the name.
Okay,
Just say,
we'll do
when
it.
Joe was a young guy, he dated all the women.
When I was 19 and she was 41.
Hey now, Joe. Or
Washington
Washington State Cougars. Nobody wants. All right, Joe, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cheers. All right, Erica.
It's the winemaker next door. He's supposed to be more casual. By the way, Joe, I went to your winery about a year ago or so. I don't know if you remember, but you gave us a little tour.
Oh, wow.
I do remember you.
It was awesome. We had a fantastic time. It was beautiful.
Do you really remember her?
I do.
Yeah, now she's pregnant.
It worked. It worked.
Will, what is wrong with you? She bought a couple bottles a year ago.
A long time ago when I could partake and enjoy. Join us for the Google Plus. By the way, that's happening at 10:10 today. Everybody can join in. It's going to be a really good time. We're going to be talking wine today.